You are now listening to or watching the It Takes All Kinds podcast.
Yeah, and if you aren't, you can head over to Apple Podcasts or Spotify and listen to us now. Or head on over to Drib on YouTube and watch the video version as well.
And if you'd like to stay up to date on when we're releasing a new episode or any other fun information about the podcast, you can give us a follow on Instagram at It Takes All Kinds Podcast and on Twitter at ITAK Podcast. That's ITAK Podcast.
Without saying much else, we hope you enjoy this episode.
All right, it got me. It got me because at first I was like, well, we were just talking about that, so that's not that funny. And then it sounded like it was in a can, in a crushed RC Cola can. It's pretty good.
Hello. Welcome to It Takes All Kinds podcast, episode 156?
66.
66?
66.
What are you looking for, man?
66.
Episode 166?
That's my blood rag.
Oh,
I
yeah.
was cleaning up blood earlier.
Blood rag was what they called you in high school, right?
It was.
Yeah. They called you on the pit bus.
It was. I was the pit boss.
Yeah.
They call me the.
They call him the pit boss.
They call me the pit boss because I love to get down on the grill.
Well, no, get down with the pit.
And a grill.
We're recording this on Tuesday, May 7th. You'll be hearing this on Friday, May 10th. That's 3 years of me working at my hospital.
It's 3 years of this show.
Yeah. No, it's 3 years of working at the hospital. May 10th.
Really?
Yeah. Can you believe
Did you
it?
start working there before?
No.
How many years did we just get 3 years?
We just got 3 years, dude.
Oh, right.
Do you remember celebrating that at all with like me smashing you smashing me in the face with the cake and then me smashing you in the face with the cake? That was like 3 years. We have like a small child on our hands.
I have like a vague memory of that.
Yeah. You're a little crooked.
Sorry, it's just
Yeah.
things are hitting me all at once. So
Carson,
this
what we got on the
week-
docket today? I also just
Well-
learned something new about one of these topics.
Okay. Good to know. I don't know how you just learned that.
I'm not kidding.
Oh, did like a news thing come across here?
I'm serious. I'm not kidding.
You pointed at your ears like you heard somebody say it.
Yeah, someone told me. Little bird.
Oh yeah, people don't know that we actually have in-ears,
Yeah.
and our producer
Back
sometimes
there.
feeds us facts.
Uh-huh.
It's
Yeah.
the first time, we should probably give a shout out to our producer.
About time.
3 years in, and
Yeah.
we've never shouted him out. We'll keep it that way.
Yeah, look at what I'm typing there.
Oh God. All right. This week we're gonna be talking about a lot of different things, a lot of pop culture, and also some news. Of course, I'm gonna give you my unabashed, straight up and down review of the Unfrosted movie starring Seinfeld's very own Jerry Seinfeld.
Kyle Mooney, Andy Richter.
Andy Richter. We're going to talk all about
Was
it.
Andy Richter actually in this one? 'Cause you kept saying
I
that.
kept saying that because when I saw the poster, I saw Jim Gaffigan, and he looked exactly like Andy Richter for a minute.
That's who it was.
So we'll talk all about that. I'll give you my pretty quick review. I'll try not to go on too long about it. Got some stories to share. Something that I did not really want to talk about, just because I didn't really feel like it was our place, and also it just so many people are talking about it, and it's even worse now. But like it's infected my brain that I have to get it
The
out.
woke mind virus has got him.
I have to get it out somewhere, and so does Gavin, I think. We're going to talk a little bit about the Drake-Kendrick beef, just a little bit to touch on it, even though it seems like it might be over, but it's never really over.
There was something even new today that came out that
Was there?
Yeah, Universal Music Group like tried getting all three parties in to like talk about it.
Whoa, really?
Yeah, they're like, you guys gotta stop. Also, like there was like a shooting outside Drake's house.
We'll talk about that too, because I have some insight that maybe you don't even know.
No, you're right.
Just gonna touch up on something. Gavin sank on the couch. Touch up on something that I saw, that kind of a personal. I don't know. I have a personal insight on it. I guess we kind of both do, just living in the state. But there was something about Missouri in an amendment being pushed to be on the ballot for
November.
There to take away the ban of abortions in Missouri, which is of course very important since we live in Missouri for now. And then I have a very quick look what I found. Gavin has a Techno World talking about the new iPad releasing that just came out today.
Mm-hmm.
the Ohio State graduation ceremony.
Yeah.
The only time I've ever cared to talk about a graduation ceremony.
You didn't have to go through Sean's.
No, thank God.
That was long.
If Sean would have invited me, I would have laughed right in his face, and I would have said, "Nah, there's no way I'm going to that kid." But I would have said, "Good luck, sport."
Yeah. Thanks, Dad.
I got a clip of the week, and then hopefully Nextdoor Drama, and then what you listening to. A lot of stuff, but it's just we're gonna rifle down it.
We're gonna rifle it down.
Unless, you know,
we're gonna stuff it down our throats.
We're gonna suck it and see what happens.
Yeah. Yep.
That's kind of my motto, really.
He's been saying it for years. He just never says it on the show. He always
That's
says
true.
it. He always says it when he's playing
In
disc
private.
golf.
Yeah, I say it to my disc golf buddies. There was
Your
one
disc
time,
golf caddy.
This will segue into my quick disc golf story, if you don't mind.
Yeah, we'll get the dick golf out of the way.
Quick dick golf. At my tournament that I played 2 weeks ago that I don't want to talk about because it went horribly.
It didn't go well.
Did not go well. Just for me, not for anybody else. On the first day, someone threw a great drive off of the tee.
And you punched him.
And I punched him right square in the mouth. And I said, and he was like, I don't know if that's good. And I was like, nah, you're perfect. You're perfect. And some guy was like, oh, that's kind of nice. He's like, oh, that's actually kind of sweet. He's like, you said he was perfect. And I was like, yeah. It's just like, it's so fun. Like the weird shit you say, like with any sport or with anything, but especially disc golf, just from my own experience, is like out of context. It's like, what? Some of it's like, it doesn't even sound like you're speaking real words. And then some of it's like, that's a really weird thing to say.
Yeah. It's like penetrating the D.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
That was that.
Like the ball sack sports stuff. Like it's like that, but like I feel like I could run one of those for disc golf.
Yeah, you probably could.
I probably could. I'd probably get about maybe 1,000 followers max.
Yeah. LeBron James caught doing disc golf.
Caught doing disc golf.
Yeah.
Well, we got Bill Nye. We got some NFL players. We got Dylan Cease, big disc golf fan.
Larry Markkinen.
Another big disc golf fan, literally posts about it all the time on his Instagram. It's so funny because he has so many followers. Do you follow him because of disc golf or because of basketball? I need to.
What? That's crazy. You don't follow him.
I should, but I see people repost his post, and it's like, it was him like knee deep in a river getting a disc back.
Well, that's like 4 feet deep for him.
Because he's like true. 7 feet I would have been tall. Like, and then Kendrick would have been. You wouldn't even see him.
You wouldn't be able to see him.
I'm a big Drake fan. To segue into my disc golf story, there is a new course opening up very, very close to here. Don't say where, because then you'll geolocate us, even though it doesn't matter. It's far enough away that it wouldn't matter. But there's a brand new disc golf course opening very close to my home. It'll probably be fully open right in time for me to move, of course. But it's very exciting because it's like 5 minutes away, and it's just a soft launch of it now. They only have 9 holes set up, blah, 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 whatever. I played it a few times. I played it for the second time on this past Sunday. And when I showed up, I was planning on just playing by myself. And then our friend in front of the show, he hasn't been on in a long time, but our friend Quinn, who's my
former host,
the only guest host we've ever had. That's why I said like he hasn't been on in a long time. He's also was my next door neighbor to where my parents live. We grew up together, but his 2 older brothers, who I've also known forever, just happened to be there, and they hadn't started playing yet. And I was like, oh, like, what's up? Like, you guys want to play together? And they were like, yeah. And I was, because they hadn't played it, and they were like, no, you're weird.
Fuck no.
You're our little brother's friend? No.
Yeah, you're weird, dude. You're weird.
You're weird, and you smell like glue. So we ended up playing together, but they're like, oh, we got to wait for our friend John, who's going to show up.
John Smith.
I won't say his last name. I wasn't even going to say his name, but whatever. It doesn't matter. Just in case he doesn't want anybody to know this, but I don't think it really matters.
Sure. He plays disc golf, and how embarrassing.
Not that part. The next part. So we get to the third. We get 3 holes in. See, there's another thing. You could be like 3 holes. What?
Yeah.
We get 3 holes.
A hole is a hole.
A hole is a hole. And we get to this third hole.
Right.
And it's kind of at the bottom of this hill.
Ravine.
And like a ravine where there's like a creek in the woods. A creek in the woods. And he's putting. He's about to putt at a basket. And I'm like picking up my disc. And then all of a sudden I hear him go, oh shit, I just got bit by a snake. And we were all like, what? And we all looked up because we were at the top of this hill and he was at the bottom. And then all of a sudden we see this fucking, like, no joke, 3-foot-long snake slither into the creek.
It just bites him and then walks away.
Yeah, we were just like, what the fuck? And I was like, the first thing I said was like, did it actually bite you? Because he's like, I thought it was a stick at first and yada yada, but sure enough, he had like 2 bite marks on his leg. He didn't see it and it just like bit him. And then it slithered away. But we think it was just.
Hold on, wait.
There it is.
Yeah. Metal Gear Solid.
But yeah, we think it was just like it was a black snake, which aren't venomous.
Yeah.
And so they think it was just like this certain kind of black snake that's really fucking big. Like it was huge.
3 feet long is not that big. If it was like 6 feet, would probably be bigger.
Are you kidding me? A 3-foot? When have you ever seen a 3-foot snake?
My house.
In the wild? You've seen a 3-foot snake? Okay, it was maybe like 4 feet. Like
okay, I'm just saying.
He said 4 feet. I was
Okay.
like, it was maybe more like 3.
Oh, okay.
But
Well,
it was
I'm
like
just saying.
this boy was thick.
Yeah, thick ass.
I'm talking. I want to make.
It was
this joke.
girthy. It was a girthy snake.
Yeah, I want to make this joke, but I don't know if it'll translate well, and
Yeah.
get too many mixed signals.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was girthy. It was
Yeah.
it was a chode.
It was a chode snake.
No, it was long. It was a long snake. It wasn't no chode. But yeah, it just fucking bit him, and we were like, well, we'll keep an eye on him to make sure. By the end of the round, he was fine. So, and then it was funny. So later on, I left, and then our friend of the show, Spencer, and I came back later, and then he fucking shows up again to play again, and I was like, oh, like it was just weird that we both showed up at the same time again. And I was like, are you okay? He's like, yeah, I'm fine, yada yada.
Did he ever
was
get like
weird.
treatment for it or anything?
I don't think so.
No. I
Not
mean,
that I know of. I don't know what you would do. I mean, it's just, I guess, clean it.
yeah.
It's probably what he should have done, but
Yeah,
know,
that's
it's
true.
very
Probably
weird.
just cleaning it. Yeah.
then I almost got my first fucking hole in one on that same hole where he got bit by a snake.
Maybe it was a snake luck.
Almost did. It was crazy. A wild moment. Went right off the front of the chains. Didn't go in though.
That's why they put those chains in.
Yeah, they keep it away.
Keep away the hole in ones.
But that's my disc golf story. You're done with school. You kind of already talked about it though.
Yeah, I did better than I thought I did though. That's a crazy
right.
thing.
You're like done.
Yeah, I'm done. Yeah, like my last final. So the next exam I have to take is the NAPLEX, which is a pharmacy licensure exam.
An Applex.
The NAPLEX.
And when do you take that?
Probably like next June, next July.
Okay.
Not
So you
this
got some time.
upcoming
You got some
June.
time to study.
I do have some time to study. We do like a 2-week boot camp too.
Really?
At the end of school.
I
yeah.
mean, good.
Yeah. At the end of rotations, there's like 2 weeks that they have, like a week for studying for the NAPLEX and then a week for studying for the Missouri licensure exam.
Oh, so you have
Missouri,
2 more
yeah,
exams.
yeah. It's like law though. It's like Missouri law. It's like how many days after?
Oh, we already did that in civics.
Exactly. No, it's like pharmacy law.
We'll see about that.
Yeah. But yeah, so
But you
really
did better
excited.
than you thought.
I did better. I thought I did. This was the exam I probably studied the technical least amount of
Okay.
time for because I didn't like.
But you shouldn't need to because you've already have all this information in your brain.
You're right. So I watched all the lectures within 2 days at double speed
There you go.
and just memorized it in chronological order. And I was like,
That'll do.
yeah, I had to connect it to a real life thing, so I was playing LV the show too.
I mean, that's what I would do. I just put my headphones in and listen.
It was difficult. There was a couple times where I had to like rewind it like by like 15
Yeah.
minutes because I just like I got so into the game.
I do that a lot.
But I'm
too.
like, you know what? I'll probably be fine if I don't do that. And then
You did better than you thought.
I also realized that if I write out the questions and basically find out what they were asking, like boil it down to what they're asking, then I do pretty good.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Because like I otherwise like would have read it and been like, oh god, yeah, but they said the person was throwing up.
Yeah, you would have gotten too in the
Yeah.
weeds of it.
Yeah. So it was a relief to know that I actually raised my grade from a C plus to a B minus. So I
Heyo.
felt like a dog because of that, like a fucking dog.
You fucking dog, dude. You
Yeah.
got that dog, and
Yeah. Yeah.
it's great.
Something like that. Yeah. Really happy about that.
So
So
now you got not next week,
I got 2 weeks.
2
I
weeks
got
and then-
March 20th.
March 20th. We're going back in time.
Yep. May 20th is my first day
Nice.
on my rotation site. So
There you go, man.
got everything straight away.
Excited for that.
Got my drug
Excited for
tests
you.
back. Got my background check back.
pass?
Yeah. Passed them.
Okay.
Flying colors.
I'm gonna need to borrow those one day.
Yeah. No problem.
One day I'm gonna come to you and I'm gonna ask for a favor that you cannot refuse. All right. It's great, dude.
Yeah.
Stoked for you.
Yeah.
I just watched The Godfather recently, so
The Godfather.
That's kind of
Father.
that's for all my godheads.
Yeah.
I've got my father heads. Well, if you don't mind, I would love to talk about Jerry Seinfeld's hit new movie Unfrosted for a minute here.
Yeah, go
If
ahead.
that's okay with you.
And I already kind of heard like a brief synopsis, but someone broke it down for like a spoiler-free breakdown on TikTok, and I really understood it then.
Okay, here, you want my spoiler-free breakdown of it?
Yeah.
It's a movie about how they made Pop-Tarts.
Yeah, that's basically what it was. And I thought it was like a story.
But it's not a true story.
What?
Because there's no way any of this would happen. It's too wacky.
Nuh-uh.
I mean,
No,
maybe there's some truth
the guy
to it.
actually
I don't
shared.
know. I don't give
Anyway,
a
keep
fuck.
going, keep going.
No, what you were saying? What were you saying?
No, there's a
I wanna
guy.
hear you.
The same guy said something very similar to what you're going to say.
Which is what?
The
Too
early
goofy?
2000s.
Oh, he
Yeah.
said that too?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I'll get to that in a minute.
Yeah.
But so this was directed by Jerry Seinfeld as well.
Written and directed.
I don't think he wrote it. Did he write it? I don't know if he wrote it. Let's find out. Let's go to the credits. Writers. Okay, he's credited as a writer, but so is Spike Furstein and Andy Robin. Let's see what. Let's get into the details of them. Oh, B movie writer. Okay, and not really much else. Nothing to any critical
Seinfeld.
acclaim. The Martin Show. I've never heard of that guy. Who's this other person? I bet it'll be the same credits. Yep. Literally the exact same credits. It's like I clicked on the same person's name.
Writing partners.
So yeah, Jerry does a great job of not really being able to, how do you say it, expand out of his depths. And I'll be flat out and just give the overall review of it, which is that it was not a good movie.
I can't believe you watched it at all.
Well, I also should give it a little bit more credit because I for sure watched 30 minutes of it straight where I was focusing on watching it. And then the other hour, because it's an hour and a half movie, because you can't make early 2000s comedies without it being an hour and a half. For that other hour, I had it on mute while we were on a Discord chat.
Yeah.
And I was relaying what was happening in the movie to Gavin and his brother Sean. And I think it was very funny because saying these explanations out loud and not having the visual of it just sounds insane.
Yeah, I was you were talking about the funeral scene.
The funeral, yeah. So there were a few. So overall, it was terrible, but that doesn't mean there weren't a few moments where I did get a good giggle. And it just so happens, no surprise to me, that the best parts were with Kyle Mooney, who played one of the Snap, Crackle, and Pop.
Mikey Day's in this too, right?
I don't know who that is.
The guy who played Beavis and Butthead in the SNL skit.
Oh, probably.
Mikey Day's got to be in this.
I didn't, just to not discredit anybody who is an Office Hours alumni, I didn't really pay attention to the scene with Fred Armisen, so I don't have any opinion on that. I didn't really pay much attention when Kyle Dunnigan was in. He just called in as Bill Maher to Office Hours. I know he was playing Walter Cronkite.
Is that real?
Yeah, it's everything I'm going to say is real.
Every time you say it,
That's what I'm
you
saying.
were talking
It's so
about Tony
funny.
the Tiger being in this.
Yeah. So Hugh Grant plays Thurl Ravenscroft as Tony the Tiger. It's like, out of context, this shit sounds so schizo brain. Not to make fun of, not making fun of schizophrenic people,
but it's like
just to
it's
like
off the wall. It's off the wall.
It's just bonkers. Of course, Amy Schumer sucks. I'll just say it. I don't give a shit. I don't like her.
Bill Burr's in
Melissa McCarthy's fine. Melissa McCarthy. This is what I was gonna say about Jerry. To just talk about Jerry for a minute. First of all, he's an ass. We'll just get that out of the way. Again, huge Seinfeld fan. Don't stop listening yet, Jerry. But he cannot. I haven't seen, because when we brought it up on the show last week, and I was like, I haven't seen anything Jerry Seinfeld besides Seinfeld, the B movie, comedians in cars jerking off, and now this.
Comedians in cars jerking each other off.
But that's because, sorry, I forgot the title of it. But that's because he literally has not been in or made a movie since the B movie. Like,
that's actually crazy.
So it's like, oh, well, I didn't miss anything.
Yeah.
And
So you've watched all of his like theatrical releases.
Oh yeah, I watched everything he's in.
Yeah.
Mr. Seinfeld, I've seen every work of yours. Besides, I haven't seen the Curb season where he's in it yet. But he cannot be anybody but Jerry Seinfeld in Seinfeld. Like, he cannot play anybody else besides that character. So it's no wonder he hasn't been in anything, because he literally cannot be anybody but himself. Even in the B movie, he was like, I was waiting for him to say Kramer or Newman or whatever.
Yeah.
You know.
What do you mean I'm a B?
He has no range. He's not an actor. He's barely a comedian.
The guy who I watched his review of it, he said that Melissa McCarthy and Jerry Seinfeld were miscast. Every other casting was basically perfect.
I thought they were. I mean, they shouldn't have been. I mean, this movie shouldn't have been made in general. But the other thing I was gonna say,
it's like the McDonald's like founder movie or like
that was
Nike.
actually pretty good though.
Yeah, no, I mean, so I mean, it's like those were like all these founder stories.
Yeah,
you know, like they have like the Nike story of Michael Jordan.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
like one of those movies.
Yeah, it is.
I thought
But
it
it's
was
about
like
the dumbest fucking thing you can make a movie about. Like literally, just make it about cornflakes, and I'd be more interested. You're
I
making
wrote
it about
an entire
Pop-Tarts.
article on the guy who created Kellogg's. So
Yeah, and that would have been way more interesting.
yeah,
'Cause
actually, it was
that's
fucking crazy.
That would be an insane. That wouldn't even be PG-13. That'd have to be like R-rated.
Yeah, mhm.
Getting the enemas or whatever. What was he getting?
Yeah,
Milk enemas. Or
Yeah,
something?
it was something like that. Yeah,
Shoving things up his butt.
yeah, because he believed the body was like a tube.
Yeah, just one long tube,
Yeah.
baby. But what I was gonna say, comparing Jerry to Melissa McCarthy, is I also feel the same way about her. She cannot play.
Anyone
She can
but
only
Melissa
play-
McCarthy.
Yeah, that one character she has, because every time she's only that character, and she's usually just like the goofy antagonist character,
Or like off key.
Yeah, just like the goofy good guy
Mm-hmm.
or goofy good girl or whatever you want to say. And so
She's like
they're-
the Jar Jar Binks of this movie.
Exactly. And then Hugh Grant, like, I don't know. I don't care
Who's
about
Hugh Grant again?
He's this guy. He was
Yeah.
in a lot of rom-coms in the
Sure,
90s and 2000s.
He's like a Tom Cruise knockoff.
See, that's her. Him. Sorry.
Yeah, it's a Tom Cruise knockoff.
No, that's Sinead O'Connor.
It's a Tom Cruise knockoff.
He was the Oompa Loompa in Wonka.
That's right. I
Yeah.
forgot about that.
That was his claim to fame.
I forgot about that. Yeah, and he also hated being in every single interview because of it.
Yeah.
He like talked about how much he hated being in the movie.
Well, and apparently, I haven't seen this clip, so I won't talk about it. But apparently, him and Jerry like butted heads on the set.
Oh, really?
Pop-Tarts
Imagine
movie.
butting the head on a fucking Pop-Tarts movie.
Oh, God.
They were taking their jobs very seriously.
And I also don't remember seeing Bill Burr in this movie. He also apparently played John F. Kennedy. I'm just now seeing, which I don't remember that scene at all. Jim Gaffigan was fine. I've never seen a movie with Jim Gaffigan in it, but I could see. Has he ever been in a Wes Anderson movie? He seems like he could be in a good in a Wes Anderson movie. I don't know, but that's just my opinion. I feel like he would be good in that. I don't have anything bad to say about him.
He's like funny Philip Seymour Hoffman.
Yeah, I mean, similar look for sure.
Sydney Sweeney's in it.
Surprisingly not. Yeah, I don't know. There's nobody really. Dean Norris, that was the guy who I was like, who's the guy in Breaking Bad?
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
That's who it was. Yeah, nothing really to say about it.
Sal Vulcano's in this from Impractical Jokers.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, nothing much else to really say. I mean, I don't blame. I mean, besides,
I don't
like,
blame Pop-Tarts for hiring Jerry Seinfeld to
No.
make this movie, but
No, I was gonna say I don't blame anybody besides like Jerry. Is just Jerry. Melissa is the same way. I don't blame either of them. It's like you know what you're getting. Hugh Grant, I mean, whatever. I know people love him, so I won't say anything bad. But I don't blame anybody in the movie for doing bad. Obviously, like I said, Kyle
like the
Mooney is
script
the
was
funniest
bad.
part. It was the script. It was the directing, because what Gavin was saying that I mentioned to him, and it sounds like other people have the same opinion, even though I didn't watch anything. This is all my own opinion. Is that it just feels like a very early 2000s comedy movie.
He
even
said-
down to the time, the
comedic timing.
the running time.
Yeah. He also
It's
said
just-
that this probably would have sold out like probably way pre-pandemic. Like this would have sold out theaters everywhere. Probably at one point.
10 to 15 years ago, this movie would have been a big hit.
Yeah.
Because it's just very of the time. Like I was like, I don't even really
Which is
know.
crazy to say that of a 2024 movie.
Right.
Film.
Right. I was like, it's like on par with like a Paul Blart, but I was even saying to Gavin, I don't even like comparing it to that because Paul Blart was better in my opinion.
Yeah.
But it's like of
We
that,
bought a
like,
zoo.
yeah, sure. I've never seen that.
Zookeeper with
But like I think of like there's a movie called Spy starring Melissa McCarthy. When did that come out? Like whenever that came out, this would have been like
I forgot about that movie.
2015. Yeah, see exactly.
Yeah,
like
10 years.
10 to 15.
Yeah.
15, it would have been like, whoa, this is groundbreaking.
Yeah, they would have been like, where was this for Seinfeld?
Yeah.
You know.
Or like even like a Kingsman or something.
Yeah,
Like that
yeah.
guy's movies. I forgot what that director's name is. Yeah, it's just of that time. And listen, like I love those movies when they came out. I love Spy. I remember watching that.
You watched Spy?
Yeah, I was sick and my mom like rented it from Redbox. Shout out, sponsor. And I was like, this is great. This is so much fun. And
Right.
obviously I watched it then. I didn't watch it recently. I didn't get sick and stay home from school with my mom recently
To watch Spy.
to watch Spy. But yeah, it's just like I think
I
if
actually
it was,
called in sick to watch Spy.
Yeah. If it came out then, or maybe, I don't even know if I watched it. If
Step
I was
Brothers.
15 now, if I watched it. Yeah, but Step Brothers is inappropriate. This is not inappropriate by any means. I even told Gavin, I was like, I don't know why this is PG-13.
I said they got permission. They
I
do
didn't
have
hear a
permission
fuck
by the
word.
rating
I
to
didn't
say
hear
the
a-
fuck word.
I didn't hear a fuck word. I heard a hell, but I never saw, Thurl Ravenscroft never said fuck.
What they should do is bleep curse words in movies.
Yeah.
I think that would be really good.
I'd watch it. They definitely have done that too.
Would have, especially on this one,
But
probably.
yeah, again, I don't blame any of those people. I'm sure it was a fucking massive paycheck.
Oh God, yeah.
So fucking more power to
all
you.
the
I
money.
literally
that-
put all this on Jerry.
is this
literally.
who owns Pop Tarts? Is it Post or Kellogg's?
Kellogg's, but I don't even. I saw something where they didn't even have anything to do with it. I don't know, man.
Jerry's
I don't
like-
even care to get in the weeds of it. I just want to talk about it being a shit movie.
Yeah,
And it
anyway.
being a big waste
Yeah,
of money.
yeah.
And it's flopping hard because Jerry's coping, saying that nobody watches him. First of all, I didn't even know he was the director in it or the star in it before he said nobody watches movies anymore. But to say that and be the director and the writer and the star of a new movie is crazy. But I think he was probably just butthurt because all of the theaters were like,
No.
nah, just go straight to streaming. We don't want to waste our time with that. If I had to guess, because otherwise that's an insane fucking thing to say when you have a movie coming out. And then to pile on top of that, the woke crap that he was saying that we talked about last week. It's just he's coping. And I saw a really funny tweet, and then we'll wrap this up because I'm going on way too long. Netflix put out there's a Mad Men reunion, kind of, so to speak, with John Hamm and the other guy who nobody remembers from Mad Men. And they're called the Admin
Yeah.
in the show. And they're like trying to, this is the scene I watched on mute, but they were trying to like figure out a way to market Pop-Tarts, and they were showing like scantily clad women posing with Pop-Tarts in like the 50s, art style. And like that was supposed to be like, people were speculating that was going to be a secret. Nobody knew that before the movie came out. And then like the day it came out, Netflix posted the clip of that and said like, John Hamm and whoever the other guy is are the admin and Unfrosted. And someone quote tweeted that saying like Netflix like blew their load on like the biggest like
Easter egg
reveal in the movie because of like that goes to show how bad this movie is doing. That they had to immediately be like, no, look this cool thing that we did.
The second,
Or that
the two
move
of
Jerry
two
did.
scenes that we have, they're
Right.
funny.
So, yeah, I don't know, man. There's so just to give it, to not completely shit on it. The funniest scene that I watched, still on mute, but was the funeral scene where they, I forgot, I don't even know. I couldn't even begin to tell you who this person was in the movie. I can picture, if I see, was it Jane? No, it was Jack McBrayer, who played Steve Schwinn. Oh, he was the Schwinn bike guy.
Yeah, I was gonna say
Because they bring in Chef Boyardee.
Bobby Moore,
For some
Bobby
reason.
Moynihan.
Bobby Boyardee. So he dies while they're
Schwinn.
trying to make the Pop-Tart. It like blows up and he dies. So maybe that's why it's PG-13. And they have a funeral for him.
You watched the scene on
And-
mute too.
On mute. And in the funeral, they put his casket into the ground and they pour cereal and then pour milk on it. And then Kyle Mooney and the other Snap Crackle Pop boys are playing like the bagpipes or whatever in kilts. And then this lady comes
like
over
Leia.
and is like crying and starts cutting bananas on top of the casket full of milk, or the grave full of milk and cereal.
Don't they put like a flag over it or something?
Yeah. So and then Kyle Mooney and the other boys come over to Jerry and Jim and Melissa, and they have a big piece of paper that says prize included inside, and they come over and they start doing like a flag ceremony where they're folding it, and then they present it to them like they're soldiers, and that was definitely the funniest part by far.
I might just have to skip to that part.
We can watch it after this. We'll skip to it. I'd like to watch it with sound on, even though it might ruin it, because it's gonna have whimsical, funny music and like overacting.
Yeah.
But that was pretty funny. That was the one scene I explained to Gavin.
He was saying, and I'm like, "What? Is this real?
Yeah, I was like, okay,
Is this happening?
That's pretty funny. That was the funniest scene.
That's how you know something's really funny, is when someone says, "Yeah, that's pretty funny."
Yeah, that was pretty funny.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Yeah, that was good.
That
was
tack
great.
that one up there.
Oh. And then at the end of the movie, they do a big musical number. So I'm so glad that was on mute, because I definitely would not have been able to go through that. There's no way I
Jerry
would.
Seinfeld's also the music writer on this.
I don't know, but he is in that musical number, though.
Good Lord.
That's for sure. So yeah, it was overall not a good movie, but it had some redeeming, funny moments to it.
Yeah.
I think mostly thanks to the Kyle Mooney being in it.
Yeah.
But then I want to see. There's a movie that came out this week called "I Saw the TV Glow" that has Connor O'Malley in it.
Yeah.
Which I don't even know, and I'm like,
heard
oh shit.
I've heard it's kind of insane.
Fuck,
Like, it's really good.
I think I need to go see it then.
Yeah.
Maybe we can. Are you off this weekend?
Uh-huh.
Maybe we should
Yeah.
figure out a time to go see that, because I like wanted to see it, and then hearing about that, and then like seeing some stills of the movie, I'm like, I think I need to go see that.
Yeah.
And it's A24. Like I will gladly go see anything.
I'll go to
A24.
anything A24.
I really will. Like, even if
You
people
gotta
are
watch.
like, this is bad.
What is it? Champs? What's the name of that soccer tennis movie?
Soccer tennis.
Challengers?
Is that A24?
No, but it seems like it would be.
No.
What?
They wouldn't have their hands on that gross garbage.
What?
No, that doesn't. To me, that doesn't.
Okay.
That's
Whatever,
why
man.
I asked that. I was like, I don't think it is. I've heard that's not very good.
No.
either.
Yeah.
And even like if you're watching it just to get horned up, get chubbed up, it's not even worth it for getting a chub.
Yeah.
Heard it's not that hot, which that's the only reason
Can't
I go
pull
for
Pee Wee
it.
Herman.
No, you can't, and I've tried. Gotten kicked out of a lot of movie theaters recently. Moving on though from Unfrosted, let's just really quickly touch on the Drake Kendrick beef. So the new, what did you say the new news was that you heard today?
The Universal,
thing.
Universal Music Group.
But they're not on the same label.
No, they're not. So it was like Universal Music Group called Kendrick, and like
Because Kendrick's Interscope.
yeah, and he was like, they were like, hey, let's
Hey,
stop.
buddy. Hey, little guy.
Yeah, like it's. Hold on, I'll have to pull up the official.
Yeah, but I'm not going to give a brief synopsis on it at all. I don't even know. I talked to someone the other day who was like, I watched a 40-minute video of just the background of all of this. Like, there's been shit like for years. I think it's been boiling for like 10 years or something, I've heard. Like, just a long time of this like buildup of this beef.
So this is the official. Like this is from a Discord too. So it says, currently waiting for proof. Take with a grain of salt until then. But this is from a Discord, I guess. And it says, from an insider waiting on proof in the form of documents. We'll update whenever I receive it. Kendrick and The Weeknd, as of yesterday, were asked by Universal Music Group to end the beef with Drake. Kendrick apparently isn't budging at all, but Universal Music Group is pressing hard on their request to squash the beef. UMG also had a Zoom meeting with all of the parties involved, and they want Kendrick either directly or said through his representative group to post a statement clarifying that Drake isn't a pedophile if Kendrick agrees to end the beef.
So Universal's acting like Switzerland
Yeah,
right now.
Yeah.
Trying to be the
middleman.
middleman, hey, let's all come together.
Drake is losing the beef in UMG's eyes, so from Universal Music Group's perspective,
that's an
the sooner that this beef ends, the better.
That's an opinion.
Yeah.
Not that I disagree with it, but
And the
it is an
pedophilia
opinion.
accusations directed at Drake are costing UMG, Nike, and other parties a lot of money, which I don't think that's true.
Yeah, I doubt it. And if
It's also I also am.
I'm very skeptical of that.
I'm skeptical of that at least, but there was probably at least a phone call. That was like,
sure.
Hey, yeah.
I mean, that wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah.
Because,
that was from our friend Chester from TMZ.
Yeah, he works there.
Yeah.
Yeah, which I mean, like that doesn't surprise me because Kendrick did say multiple times in the last diss track he put out that he just wants him to be dead.
Yeah, that's true.
Which is crazy.
And there was like you said there was something that I didn't know.
Yeah, so you mentioned, so this morning there was an apparent shooting near it said one of Drake's residence, but I'm pretty sure they were talking about his main home in Toronto.
Yeah. The 6.
But they said Drake wasn't involved. I still don't know if while I explain this, maybe you can check if there's been an update on that. But I just heard that there was like speculated, nobody knows who it was, but it wasn't Drake. Security guards seriously injured in shooting in Toronto mansion. Interesting.
They were shot inside Drake's home.
Oh, but they don't know who, or they don't say anything else?
Yeah, they
about
said
that?
the assailant fled in a vehicle.
Huh.
Assailant. Yeah, whatever.
Interesting.
Yeah.
But so that might make sense to what I'm about to say. So it was revealed in the music video for Drake's diss track titled, what was the fucking one with the music video with the car? Which one was that? I get them all mixed up. That's
the Heart.
The Heart Part 6, right?
Yeah.
That's what it's called.
Yeah.
So in that music video, it's revealed, and this has kind of been known, but it was revealed that Drake's neighbor was, or I think was, I don't think is, the head honcho of the Canada or Toronto chapter of the Hells Angels, the notorious motorcycle gang that's been around since like the 60s. And apparently Drake has shouted them out in multiple songs because they're like his security.
Oh, really?
So that's probably, I don't know if it was that guy specifically. They're referring to him as Bandana Man. He has a name, but I couldn't tell you what it is, and it's probably best I don't say it. But if that was, the Hells Angels security, that might be what it had to do with. Because I bet he's probably been talking to this guy like, hey, I might need some people around.
Yeah.
And it sounds like it. I don't, these two incidents could be completely separate. It could have been just a fucking rabid fan.
Yeah, that too. That's what I was
showing
saying
up.
too.
So who knows? Obviously, threats and acts of violence are not okay. I'll laugh at Kendrick saying that he wants him to be dead.
Yeah.
Because that's just an absolutely insane, devious thing to say. And it's insane.
Are you saying that this is the new Tupac v. Biggie?
Well, we'll see. If it turns out like that did. I really hope it doesn't, because I don't want anybody dead, especially if gun violence or anything for any reason.
Yeah.
Whether they're pedophile or not, we'll let the courts decide that.
There was a line in this in this song where he says that that Drake is not fucking with any. He only fucks with Whitney's, not Bobby Brown's, or not Millie Bobby Brown's.
Yeah. So in Drake's latest diss track, which was maybe the biggest bummer of all, he was just like very. Like, I think he was trying to play off this thing where he's like, ugh, okay, here we go again. Do you want me to keep going, man? Really? But it just made it sound like he was just tired.
Yeah.
Like, I want to go to bed, dude.
He's like, I put pen to paper. This is a good exercise. All right, let's wrap it up.
Like, literally, if you listen to it, he's just like, oh, here we go. And in it, he, like Gavin said, he says, what did you say it was? We ain't fucking with.
I only fuck with Whitney's, not Millie Bobby Brown's.
Yeah. And then in that same verse, he says something about Epstein. Maybe we can pull up the lyric, but it's just interesting that he. So Gavin said that he thinks there's double meaning to that lyric because Kendrick's fiance is named Whitney. And Bobby Brown was married or dating Whitney Houston and hit her, and Drake's claim is that Kendrick hits his wife or his fiance Whitney, but then he does bring up Millie Bobby Brown, which is to I
never look twice at no teenager.
That's what he says after.
Yeah,
Read the whole lyric.
Only fucking with Whitney's, not Millie Bobby Brown's. I never look twice at no teenager. I'm a fucking hitmaker, dog, not a peacemaker.
So he doesn't bring up Epstein then, but he does bring up Epstein at some point.
I think it's... Yeah, this Epstein angle was the shit I expected. TikTok videos you collected and dissected. Instead of being on some disdirect shit, you rather fucking grab your pen and misdirect shit.
Yeah. So I mean, he brings up the Epstein thing out of nowhere, which I mean, like, there's no claims that he was on his island or anything like that. But there is real claims. There's real reality of the Millie Bobby Brown thing, just not necessarily that anything happened there. Mm-hmm. It's just that he took her out to dinner. It was really weird. Now, to Millie Bobby Brown's credit, she said that nothing weird happened.
Yeah.
He was just a big fan.
Yeah. He's like, I love Stranger Things, man.
Yeah. And it was just like, it doesn't mean it's not fucking weird to take a 16 or 15-year-old out for dinner. That's still a fucking weird thing to do. But we'll let the courts decide that. But to give her credit, because also there's more than
she
one
was actually
person in
14.
Oh, cool. No, that just makes it a whole lot better too.
She said, "I love him. I met him in Australia, and he's honestly so fantastic and a great friend and a great role model. We just texted the other day, and he was like, 'I miss you so much,' and I was like, 'I miss you more.'
Oh no!
He gives me advice about boys. He helps me. He's great. He's wonderful.
Shit.
I love him. The advice says that the advice stays in the text messages.
Maybe it is a lot weirder than I remembered it being, because I remember watching a clip of her a long time ago saying that it wasn't weird, but I don't remember the texting and I miss you stuff. Like, that's like borderline grooming. Even like helping an adult helping a 14-year-old out with boy problems, I think that is literally grooming.
No, I think it is.
I think it is definitely possibly grooming.
Genius goes in further here, saying, it should be noted that a controversial video of Drake kissing and caressing a 17-year-old girl on stage during a May 2010 concert muddies the validity of this claim that he, quote, never looks twice at a teenager.
Okay, but no.
But yeah, when the attendee revealed her age, Drake said, "I can't go to jail yet, man. You're 17. Why do you look like that? You thick. Look at all this. I don't know if I should feel guilty or not, but I had fun. I like the way your breasts feel against my chest."
Jesus Christ. And this was on stage. And there's a clip of it. Wow, I didn't know they were texting.
It was a different time. It was 2010. It was.
Well, Millie Bobby Brown was like
14.
Like 5 years ago.
Yeah.
Probably somewhere around that. 4 years ago. No, probably like 6 years ago.
Yeah, 6 years ago around then.
I didn't remember the texting stuff. Okay, well, that makes it a lot worse than what I remembered.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, it's still fucking weird, but no, it's actually just really fucking weird and maybe borderline grooming. If that is true, what she's saying, which I don't know why I want to believe her.
But anyway.
I think that is grooming.
But it's been blowing up our world. Everybody's been tweeting about it.
But yeah, that line, nobody's really like, because my thing this whole time is I'm like, Kendrick, bring up Millie Bobby Brown.
It would be so easy.
Nobody remembers that this happened.
Yeah.
Apparently a lot more people did than I thought. But then the fact that he tells on himself by bringing it up. Like, Kendrick didn't even have to bring it up.
No, exactly.
He was just like, you've been weird with like young kids. Like, you're pedophile.
You're like, you're weird.
But then Drake's like, no, and not Millie Bobby Brown either. So don't even think about that. He's like trying to get ahead of it. By the way. Trying to get ahead of it, but you look more like a goober.
There was someone that was also defending him online saying the Canadian age of consent is 16.
Yeah, which is
like a fucking crazy argument to make.
That's why I made the joke when you brought up the 17-year-old, and I was like, but because it's like trying to defend anything that has to do with an older person doing anything with a person underage is an insane thing to do.
Yeah, you can't defend it.
There is no defending it. I don't care what the age of consent is.
It's
any
weird.
of that. It's fucking weird.
It's really weird.
It's weird. Unless you're like 18 and just out of high school or still in high school and you knew this person in high school. Like,
right.
There are circumstances in that case where it's like a close age, but like anything of like
24 talking like a 17-year-old.
Even older, because I'm sure he was like 30.
I think he was probably 30, yeah. He was probably, 2010?
There's no defending that. I'm sorry, there isn't.
No.
In any circumstance.
So just don't talk to underage people.
Okay, Drake. Stop it, Drake. I like your music, dude. But yeah, it's just it was crazy that Kendrick dropped a song less than 30 minutes after Drake did. It's so funny to see the streaming numbers of Kendrick's compared to Drake's. It's like blowing him out of the water.
It's I've listened to Kendrick's disses, but I haven't listened to Drake's because, in my opinion, I have not been able to like none of Drake's music for the last like 4 years has been palatable to me. It's fucking terrible to listen to.
There's a few songs that I occasionally will listen to. I might have even recommended one on here. I can't remember. But yeah, full albums, no. He hasn't had anything good in a while. Some of the 21 stuff was good, but again, it was good because
21's on it, yeah.
I did listen to I've listened to every single diss track. I think I've only listened to Drake's like one time through of each. And they're not bad. Like they're honestly the best music Drake's released in a long time.
Yeah.
Though I don't care for what he's saying, and I just doubt the validity of a lot of it, but I won't say anything for sure because you don't know. And the Kendrick stuff's great. I also personally, I'm not a huge Kendrick fan. I'll just go out there and say it. It's just not necessarily my cup of tea. But I also think this is the best music he's released.
They literally like pulled him out of like a hiatus, basically.
Yeah. But I just like I think this is also something I thought about too. I just been thinking about this a lot recently, just with other stuff. But I put it to this as well, that like there's something that is so good about just something simple. Like these songs probably did not take long to do. They probably had Metro probably had beats. DJ Mustard probably had beats. Drake's
it's
people
so
probably
crazy
had.
his name's DJ
I know.
Mustard.
Someone was laughing about that earlier when I was listening to something, but they probably had these beats ready to go. They wrote it down and went in and did it. It's not like a masterfully planned thing. Like there's something just about the simplicity of just doing something right then and there that I think sometimes just makes it way better than other stuff. Like it doesn't all have to be like crazy artsy stuff.
Correct. And that was probably something that they did back in like 2016, 2014, whenever they were making these like good songs. Because it was like they just got into the studio, they recorded it, and then they didn't like overproduce it. Like how
they didn't have the money to do it. They didn't have like they were just like
they didn't have the means to be making overproduced bullshit.
Exactly. And I think that there's just something about that I think a lot of people need to go back to. And listen, it's hard for an artist to like
step back from where they're at because they're like always going to be in that.
They're like, we always need to be doing new things. We always need to be doing this. And it's like, there's just something to like, something simple. Like it doesn't have to be crazy. But that was just something I thought about. Moving on. I have nothing else to say about it unless you do.
No, it was just very fascinating that this came out, in my opinion, out of nowhere. I didn't know there was any type of beef anywhere.
Yeah,
but
it's been
there was someone.
For a while, apparently.
So someone had sent like a whole timeline of it to me, and I was like, oh, okay. I mean, like that's a good breakdown. It was really simple, but it's like, fascinating that there's like so many people involved. So
yeah, it sounds like Drake got butthurt about some comments, and then it just
blew up really quickly. Yeah.
It's been a Cold War since then until now. So we'll see what happens out of it. I'm curious to read up more about that shooting this morning and see what comes out about that.
Yeah.
I haven't seen Drake say anything about it, so I don't know. But yeah, it's just a lot of devious, gross stuff. I also heard a lyric. Sorry, one more thing. I heard a lyric about Drake's diss track today that I didn't realize, where he mentions, he's like talking to Kendrick and he's like, let me talk to your uncle because I want to speak to the man in the house. And that's apparently in reference to
Degrassi.
Kendrick's. No, it's actually fucked up and like, well, I won't say it because it'll ruin what I'm about to say, but it's apparently Kendrick has an uncle who is trans. I don't know it from man to woman or from woman to man. I'm not 100% sure. You know what? If it's his uncle and if they're saying his uncle, okay, so maybe it's not what I thought it was. Okay, maybe I shouldn't even say that at all because I just realized let me search this up because I don't want to say something I don't want to say something wrong. Okay, so his aunt became his uncle. Yeah. His aunt became a man. Okay, so in my mind I thought I was gonna say that Drake was being transphobic by saying his uncle became a woman and saying let me talk to the man in the house. It's still kind of like transphobic, there's something there that's like gross for him to be saying that,
to be bringing it up like that, but
because it like Kendrick did a whole song about it where he like opened up about it, and it's like it's something that's not really like, I mean, accepted in culture in general, but I think in black culture it's even more criticized and looked down upon, so it's like super hard to open up about that. And it was just a bad angle for Drake to bring that up. But yeah, I thought it was a different thing, and it's still fucked up. But anyways, we need to move on from it. Jesus Christ, for the love of Christ. I did just want to. Well, we'll move on from it. I was gonna play a clip from a club where they were playing the song, and the guy yells "certified pedophile." Should we watch that real quick?
Just watch
I feel
that.
like we should. So this is someone in.
Are you recording?
Yeah, someone in a club playing Kendrick's diss track. Which one was it?
Meet the Grams?
Yeah, Meet the Grams. So this is funny.
Get your hand-me-downs and party at the party playing with his nose now. Baka got a weird case, why is he around? Certified lover boy, certified pedophile.
It cuts off right there. I thought that was so funny. Certified pedophile. So, but I wanted to show that because people, like, I was just saying it's even more devious for him to write the song about him being a pedophile because nobody can even play that in a club.
Yeah.
Because it's like,
it's really weird.
It's just weird. And he's like, especially the one where he's talking to his kids. It's like, you can't play that. That's too weird. Moving on though, let's talk about some good news. This was something that caught my attention because I heard Sam Cedar on the Majority Report just kind of mention it, and then it was he didn't get into detail of it, so I looked into it myself. But an amendment, or so this headline from NBC News says, Missouri abortion rights group collects enough signatures to advocate ballot measure. An amendment to enshrine. That was
Close.
where the
that was where the hobbits were
lived.
going. Yeah, in
thank you.
Shire.
I appreciate you picking up the slack. They go to the Shire for abortion rights in the Missouri Constitution. Is now one step closer to appearing before voters this year.
Which is good that it's being at least put in front of voters.
Yeah.
Because I think they will be pleasantly. Well, I don't want to make it super, like absolute defining thing that this is going to happen.
Right.
But I would say majority of people will probably vote that they will want to have the ability to have an abortion.
Yes, I do hope that's the case. I don't know.
Because Kansas City is also part of Missouri, and I think that's a pretty left-leaning area.
And I think something that's come out recently that I didn't think was the case was that it's seeming that a lot more people who would vote Republican or Republicans do feel differently about the abortion rights than the vast majority of Republicans do. Because I've been hearing that it's like a lot of people have given their
group.
Yeah, a lot of people have been saying that it's honestly probably worse for Trump to lead with like banning abortion stuff than it would be positive for him to lead for that, because there's a lot of a lot of Republicans are like Midwestern moms who maybe don't have that opinion on abortion, and that might change their opinion on it, which is why I feel like you don't really hear Trump talk about abortion a lot. I think maybe recently you kind of do a little bit.
There was a couple clips where he's like, Joe Biden said I was the one that killed it.
Yeah, he's like seems to be very vague about it, I feel like. And maybe I'm speaking out of turn there, but from what I've seen, I don't see a lot of Trump talking anymore.
No, I haven't ever since all this court stuff that he's been having to.
Hasn't had time.
No,
He's sleepy.
legitimately, he has not had time.
He wants to go to bed. But I just thought that, I mean, obviously this is great that at least there's an effort to get this on a ballot.
I just hope that the language is clear and succinct, and I doubt it will be. But the language that they use for some of this shit is so fucking impossible to understand what they're saying. Yeah. So it'll be like, I'm voting for the ban of the ability to get like an abortion.
Well,
right.
that's like,
it's like the right to get an abortion should not be enshrined in the Missouri Constitution. Will be like the yes or no, and it will be like, what am I voting for here?
Well, that's like, even at the beginning of this episode, I was stumbling over my words because I was like trying to figure out the way to say in the abortion ban, because it's like it feels like a double negative.
You're
absolutely. Like, but that's what these signs say in the abortion ban. Yeah. And I was like, they're trying to get an amendment on that bans the ability to ban abortions.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's it's going to be
something like that.
It might even just be confusing in its own right.
Yeah.
Without them even trying to make it confusing. But yeah, it's just great to see that. Like you said, well, who knows? We'll see what happens.
Is that what the Gerber baby looks like now? Down the bottom there.
No.
No. Okay.
I was just gonna see. I read some. I kind of like skimmed this last night. Under the state law, Governor Mike Parsons, the Republican, has the sole power to decide which ballot to place the measure on. He could choose to place the proposed amendment on the August 6th primary ballot or the November 5th general election ballot.
Knowing him, probably going to be the August one.
That's what I was gonna say. Most likely, that's where it'll go because he knows less voters will be going out.
And they'll be like,
vote
see,
on it.
look, people voted for it.
But that could also work against his favor as a Republican.
Because you have more people showing out.
Then
to the primaries.
there will be a lot more people posting, get out to the primaries. And then you won't have the Republican voters going out either. And then that'll be even less people voting against it. So honestly, the August 6th would
Political strategy, baby.
Either one, I mean, who knows? I think if he's smart, it would be to put it on the November 5th one, just knowing that more voters will be there in general. But I could also see what you're like. My immediate thought was August 6th too, because less people will be showing up. But that could also work against his favor.
Right, because then you have less people being able to be put on the ballot because people voted against the people that they wanted the primary. Right?
Yeah, I heard every word you said.
Yeah, but basically, like, primaries decide who's going to be on the ballot.
Exactly.
So they can basically just run someone off the ballot.
Yeah.
Accidentally, where it's
Sure.
like, oh shit, I didn't realize that many people would come. Sorry, man.
Oh, sorry. We get a libertarian on the ballot.
Yeah.
Somehow.
Yeah.
Never happened. But yeah, I just think that's great. And I have been seeing a lot of people out with like walking up to people asking for signatures.
Yeah.
Recently.
I can't think of the word either.
But
Surveys.
nobody asked me, so I didn't know what it was about.
You're like, what the fuck?
I kept seeing them.
You
and
like
I was
approach them. You approach
well,
them, and you're like,
Yeah.
I'll write it down.
to be honest, like I honestly try to avoid people
Yeah,
like
yeah,
that,
yeah.
which I shouldn't, because 90% of the time it's for something I probably agree with. Like
Yeah.
one of them was for legalization of marijuana once.
I remember.
But I'm just like, I'm just a weirdo, and like I'm so when I'm not around people, when I'm not like going to be around people on purpose to talk to people, I don't want to talk to people.
Yeah.
Like when I go to the grocery store, I'm going in there to get my groceries and get out. I'm not there to have a conversation.
I remember whenever they were doing the weed thing. I remember. I think it was one of my older family members. They were like, you didn't sign that, did you? Because like, you don't want to be put on a list like that.
Well, that's what. Remember, we read our Nextdoor Drama where
Yeah.
someone was like, "I saw someone out asking for signatures."
Yeah, but it was like, but they were like, They were like, did you sign it because like you don't want your name on a list like with a marijuana thing.
Oh, right.
Yeah, like that was like the thing she was saying.
It's like,
But yeah,
sure.
yeah. So,
But yeah,
yeah, that's good that they're actually going to be able to vote on it. Excited.
I definitely agree.
Go out, get out there and vote.
Make sure you guys go out there and vote.
I'm going to do the
But
Ohio
what's in
State.
her emails?
Exactly.
That's what I wanna know.
Where did those 30,000 emails go?
Let's talk about Ohio.
Yeah. So.
But I'll play the clip.
Yeah,
on here,
so there was
said
there's considered the worst Ohio State commencement speech ever, according to the Rooster, which is, I guess, some kind of Ohio publication.
I'm gonna have to.
I don't
agree.
know. So this was the commencement speech was given by social entrepreneur, self-proclaimed, Chris Pan. He admitted to writing his speech while high on psychedelic drugs like ayahuasca, and somehow he delivered even worse results than you might imagine. Chris Pan, an alumnus whom Ohio State describes as a, quote, social entrepreneur, musician, and inspirational speaker, joined the storied list of people that have spoken at Ohio State, such as Neil Armstrong, Barack Obama, John Glenn, Spiro Agnew, Sherrod Brown, Dr. Anthony Fauci, and Woody Hayes.
So all important people.
Yes. Joined the storied list on all important people. Yes, very important people on Sunday in what many attendees described as the worst commencement speech ever. And that sadly had nothing to do with the tragic death of the yet to be named person who fell from the bell tower end of Ohio Stadium shortly before the graduating ceremony began. So, like most normal people, the author was Max Littman. Most normal people I'd never heard of Pan before our shared alma mater bestowed the enormous honor upon him. But thankfully, several Ohio State sources who were granted anonymity for the fear of retribution from their employer spoke to the Rooster about Pan and the decision process. To be the Ohio State's commencement speaker, there's an open nomination process followed by a panel of students and staff who finalize the process and select the speaker. The guidelines include being a good public speaker and the name recognition, two things that Pan lacked. The Rooster asked numerous members of Ohio State's commencement speaker selection committee for comment on the collective thought process, and none of them replied before the publishing of this article. Should that change, they will change they will update it. And it's additionally unknown, at least until our public records requests are returned in 1 to 2 months, if Pan's selection involved him promising a donation to the university. Regardless, the committee selected Pan, perhaps because of an invocation he gave to the Ohio State Honors and Scholars Department in 2018. Ohio State notified Pan by email of its selection. The sources told the Rooster that Pan did not reply to the university's initial email because he thought it was a prank. Despite describing himself as an inspirational speaker, Pan had never given such a large-scale speech. Ohio State had to reach Pan by phone to confirm that, yes, it did want him to speak at the university's largest annual graduation ceremony. Pan crafted his speech by constantly updating his Instagram stories with screenshots of Google documents containing his latest iterations.
What the fuck?
Pan was also, by his own admission, high on the South American psychedelic brew known as ayahuasca, which was recently popularized by Aaron Rodgers, a conspiracy theorist who moonlights as an NFL quarterback.
I don't think it was recently popularized.
No, I think he just he was like the most famous person to use it.
Yeah.
Pan didn't make many friends at the university during his, let's say, unorthodox speechwriting process. A university source told the Rooster that he is the worst person I have ever worked with in regards to his participation in the commencement process. Yeah, this was a week ago, I guess. He said, got some help from AI, ayahuasca intelligence, this week to write my commencement speech for 60,000 grads and family members at Ohio State University next Sunday. We are in challenging times. Wanted something extra heartfelt. Tried ChatGPT, but that wasn't good. Crying, laughing emoji. He posted that on LinkedIn.
Really selling yourself there, buddy.
Yeah. So the video... go ahead and play it, but he mentions Bitcoin. The whole crowd just goes, oh.
So this is...
It's kind of echoey.
This is a tweet from Molly White, who I don't know. Let's see if we can get any information about them. Crypto researcher and critic, software engineer, Wikipedian. Ohio State's commencement speaker was loudly booed after trying to shill Bitcoin, which he said he just discovered over the past few months. Wait, so what does this guy do? I thought he was a Bitcoin guy.
No, he's not. He's just like some guy.
Motivational speaker.
He's like a motivational speaker, and I think they chose him because of like he works with like Pepsi, and like I think he had like a pedigree of like working with Pepsi, Facebook, and like another company, and he's selling bracelets with words on them. That's like his new entrepreneurship thing.
Okay, so he's a drop shipper.
Basically, just like a guy who's he considers himself an entrepreneur, but has anything to show for it? No.
So here's the clip. Let's watch it. Hopefully we'll be able to hear it. I don't know what is all this. Are these speakers or something? I thought these were going to be people where people were sitting.
Me too.
I don't know what that is. Okay, here we go.
So I know this might feel polarizing, but I encourage you to keep an open mind right now.
No.
I see Bitcoin.
He literally was just explaining what Bitcoin is. Like, this is a guy, again, this whole episode is about shit that like would have been popular like 10 years ago. He's giving the Bitcoin speech 10 years too late because he just discovered it.
The other odd thing about this is that he said that like Lithuania like earned their freedom by singing. So let's sing. It's so odd, dude.
You said Chris Pan?
Yes,
right?
Chris Pan.
I just gotta look him up.
Yeah, Chris Pan later led the class of 2024 into another musical number. What the hell?
Man,
what?
If this has ever been a sign, just don't take drugs.
Okay, so
don't get high.
Okay, so here we go. I'd like to get started by moving our energy, getting our energy flowing.
So he must do like musical stuff.
Yeah.
Together, you and me, united here in harmony.
Oh God. What the fuck?
I'd like to get started here by moving our energy, getting our energy flowing, said Pan, who graduated from OSU in 1999, which is true. That did happen.
Okay.
So if you're able to, please stand and follow my movement. Pan then proceeded to lead the audience in singing part of the 1993 song "What's Up" by Four Non-Blondes with that.
What the fuck?
with high schoolers. It says with had school leaders.
Okay.
Thank you,
right.
New York Post. And faculty behind him swaying and moving their arms. He subsequently led grads in breathing exercise that is used by Navy SEALs to remain calm in stressful situations, perhaps to prepare them from some of the grim financial situations they may soon face in the real world. Thanks, New York Post.
He only has 17,000 followers on Instagram.
Correct.
So he's just nobody.
He said, so I know this might feel polarizing, but I encourage you to keep an open mind. Right now, I see Bitcoin as a very misunderstood asset class, Pan said, which has led to a chorus of boos. Pan attempted to work through notable jeers before he deployed a magic trick with the help of OSU President Walter E. Carter Jr. The 64-year-old college bigwig blew on some quarters in a little black bag that Pan turned into a Bitcoin. I learned the magic trick last week when we just to be able to have this movement, Pan gleefully admitted, thank you for that. He later promised free bracelets to everyone in the crowd as an apology for listening to me talk about Bitcoin. Pan later led the class of 2024 into another musical number, quote, "This Little Light of Mine," after he talked about how young adults can heal divisions in the world. Part of the oddities in Pan's speech might have been tracked back to what he used to help him write it up. Ayahuasca.
They all took it together at the very end.
Yes.
He dosed them. It was
He
in the
actually,
bracelet.
he said, look under your chairs and and this little light of mine is, well, ayahuasca.
This little light of mine. So yeah, I guess he does like musical healing stuff is what I'm seeing. Like that's his thing.
Yeah. And I guess it's
For
also
some reason.
jewelry.
The bracelets.
Yeah. I guess he does that.
All right.
I honestly think he says we're not a jewelry company, we're a service project. I guess it's those.
It looks like you're serving something. Good job, Chris Capan. Chris's
Catan.
Pan, star of Night at the Roxbury.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, with Chris Kattan.
That's actually a real person?
Yeah, he's an actor.
Really?
He was in the Unfrosted movie. No, he wasn't. Wow, what a fucking wild story. So someone died during it.
Yes.
And that wasn't like a...
Nobody addressed
It was
Nobody
overshadowed.
stopped. Yeah, no one stopped it.
Wow.
Allegedly, AP said it was possibly a suicide act.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, possibly.
Ooh.
But there was no foul play. It was just like they just.
And it was
like-
before the...
Yeah, it was like right before it. They just went on. They're like, well, I mean, Chris Pan's here. We got to have him on.
There's a joke that I don't... Just move on. It's too inappropriate.
And then this is the last thing I wanted to say was this is also just for Gavin's Techno World really quickly.
Okay.
Just to move into that really quick.
You don't have a theme song?
No, not this time. The Apple had an event today where they announced a new Apple Pencil with different capabilities where you can squeeze it.
Oh, you can finally squeeze it.
Yeah, you can squeeze in. Like it used to be tap, but I guess there's like different mechanisms or whatever. You can do different gestures.
It's got the grips that you'd get at the Scholastic Book Fair.
Yeah, and then you can put them
Scented.
on there and you can chew on it. Like
It's
you
got
can
a
suck
scented
on
eraser.
it. Yeah, you can suck on it
Ooh,
and put it back on.
you suck it and see.
Yeah. That's his motto, by the way.
That's something I'm thinking about putting that in my commencement speech for the St. Louis Community College speech that I'll be giving in a few years.
Yeah, I think I'll do the same thing for mine.
I'm up there with my alumni as John Goodman and me. That's all I know that went there was John Goodman.
That's right. I know which high school he went to too.
Yeah, Afton?
Yeah,
right?
something like that, yeah.
I think that's right.
My friend
I-
Barrett met him.
Let me check. Yep, that's right.
Let's look that
Did
up.
he
real
give a
quick.
commencement speech?
No, I
there?
don't think he
Oh,
did,
damn
but
it.
she did meet him. But they announced announced two new iPads, and I believe even a third one, but the third one's just like the normal iPad, which is like the cheap one.
Okay.
But they announced a new 13-inch iPad Air, 11-inch iPad Air, and then an 11-inch iPad Pro and a 13-inch iPad Pro. The iPad Airs have the M2 processor, which is like last year's model, I guess, or 2 years ago. This
Okay.
is, like last year's M processor. And then the Pros have a thing called like tandem OLED, where it's like two OLED screens, so it's brighter.
Okay.
That's what they call it. That's what they're branding it. And then I think like an aluminum keyboard too, and then the cameras are exactly the same. And they moved the cameras on the Air and the Pro, I think, to like the landscape. So most people use their iPads in landscape mode anyway, and it was awkward because you'd be looking at the camera, but like you'd be looking at something here, but it wouldn't be looking like you're looking at a screen or anything.
They're making it more like a laptop.
Yeah, they're making it way more like a laptop, which is fascinating.
It's smart.
That's
the evolution.
That's
of where it's gone.
the market for it now. It's really just, is the operating system going to be powerful enough to do it?
Yeah.
Or like, because it honestly felt like another iteration of an iPhone whenever I was using it. It's like, cool, this is just a big iPhone.
Right. Oh, yeah. But is it still, with this new one, it's still going to be running as a big iPhone?
As it stands right now with the iOS or iPad OS or Pad OS or whatever it's called, 17. Yes.
Okay.
But maybe 18 does.
Okay.
Maybe the new one they're going to premiere it later in June. And then the iPad Pros also have M4 processors, which are brand new.
Okay.
I don't think they've ever even been put in the computer.
And this happened today?
Yeah, today.
Did it happen? Do they do these like really early in the morning?
They do it, I think 12 p.m. Central Time.
Huh.
And so it's like 10 a.m. Pacific.
Okay.
Yeah, they do. It feels
earlier.
Like the other thing is that these keynotes will go like 2 hours, but they don't feel like 2 hours. Because I take it back.
Do they do a 2 hour one even for something as simple and short as this?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was like 2 hours because I didn't see anything posted about it until I didn't wake up till 2 o'clock, but
Sure.
But I didn't see anything posted.
Well, I even woke up like a little bit later than usual, but like it was still early, and I feel like I already saw like here's what you missed at the keynote, and I was like,
there
already happened?
Yeah, and people already kind of knew what was going on, and I think they both. I really hope so, but I think they both have Touch ID on it now, and also the iPad Pro is now the thinnest Apple thing ever made. It's thinner than an iPad. It's thinner than an iPod Nano.
Damn.
It's incredibly thin. And I've reports are saying that it's
like as thin as the screen.
Yeah, it's super thin. It's insanely thin.
Don't put it in your back pocket.
Don't sit on it.
Don't sit on it, guys. When the grandkids come over.
Yeah. So that's what happened today.
That happened today.
Yeah, that happened.
So basically that happened. Well, good. I'm glad to hear there's a new iPad coming out. You know, I love to get right on the new iPads.
The other thing that was interesting was that the price points are exactly the same. Like it's like $799 for an iPad Pro and $999, or I'm sorry, $799 for an iPad Air, and it's $999 for iPad Pro.
Okay.
Kind of insane because it feels like they are packing in a lot more for that. It feels like a generally good accepted price for an iPad.
Yeah.
Feels like a lot for an iPad Air for like $799 or whatever it is, but it was like you're getting a lot for it. It's a lot more powerful than it used to be 10 years ago.
Right, but the price isn't.
Yeah, the price really hasn't changed that much.
Interesting. Yeah.
They could have priced it up way more, but if you get like a max spec'd out,
anymore.
yeah, probably not. If you got like a max spec'd out like iPad Pro, it costs as much as like a max spec'd out iPad or a MacBook Pro.
Well, I think we know which one you should probably get there.
yeah.
I think we figured that one out, didn't we, Gavin?
Yeah, we sure did.
We sure did. Okay. Moving on, I just have a quick little clip. Somebody sent me this, and I just wanted to know. I was just going to ask you about this. How did they get this video of you eating dinner? That's you, right? That's you eating dinner. How did they get this clip of you?
And those are all my dogs in the background too.
Right.
My birds.
Did you know they were taking this video of you eating dinner?
No, I didn't. And I think this is at the gramophone too. So it really makes it really awkward because like I go there all the time.
I'm trying to figure out what you're eating too.
Oh, that was
bread and.
It was that was a marshmallow. They bring out these bowls of apple and nuts and grapes and raisins and stuff for me.
Is that what that is? That's a raisin?
Yep, that's what that is.
It's a big raisin.
Or a bean. Yeah, that's a bean for sure. Okay. Yeah, I love beans.
You should try to use your hands when you eat.
Well, I don't like getting my hands dirty as
I get it.
As a Homo sapien.
Right. Okay. I just thought you might have some questions. To
And I
answer about
also
that.
recently got diagnosed with jaundice.
Oh shit, dude! I'm sorry to hear that.
My ears are yellow like that.
I'm sorry to hear that. Dude.
Yeah.
You should get those kidneys checked out.
Yeah.
Right? Doesn't that the kidneys have to do with it?
I think it's the liver.
Liver. Got some cirrhosis going on. This is another clip. This is my here. I'll just play this real quick for all the kids at home. Here it is. This is a quick little look what I found this
God.
week. I found an Instagram account of speaking of Bitcoin, interestingly enough, this segues pretty well. I'll be very surprised if you haven't seen this because I think people are slowly getting fed this person. I think I was on the early side of it just to, I don't know.
He's a hipster like that.
Yeah, I get
I got there
early.
before it was cool.
But I'll just show you this video and then we can talk about it.
Leg extension.
I guess I'll mute it, but he's in a public gym and he is working out. We'll probably should watch one where you can actually see him. I think you'll pretty well get the idea.
Holy fuck.
He well, of course it's the same angle. Yeah, so it's this guy and he works out in his Bored Ape Yacht Club mask that he had custom made. So he owns this Bored Ape, and he got a mask made of it, and now he's taken on the identity of the Bored Ape. But he's also a workout guy, so all he does is post videos of him at the gym with the mask on, which is insane because that's a big mask. It's huge. Look how big that is. And he's
I know his biceps are big.
and they're huge. And he's in a public gym doing this.
That's unsettling.
It's just not okay.
It's really unsettling because it's like I can imagine like walking around him where it's like
especially if most people don't know what Bored Ape is. I think most people don't. So they would see this guy and be like, why is that guy wearing a monkey mask?
Well, and
What
then
is that?
Well,
And
I
it's
also
not
feel like it would creep
flattering.
people out.
Yeah, it's a scary because the eyes are all look like mouths. Like look at you can see his ape kinda. It's like weird looking eyes.
Jesus
And
Christ.
it's like, and then he also just will buy Bored Ape snacks.
With
Bored
his,
Ape salted
that's not
peanuts.
his Bored Ape though, right?
But
That's not his Bored
no,
Ape
it's
though.
not. But he loves.
You're
his
not allowed
Bored
to do
Apes.
that though, right? You can't do that.
I didn't think so. Somebody's got to talk to this guy. Somebody's got to talk to those Bored Ape owners.
You weren't supposed to do that.
You weren't. But yeah, so it's just very bizarre.
And I bet it smells in there, dude. Like imagine working out with a mask.
And I'm sure he does the full workout with it on. I mean, maybe he does. I hope he doesn't. I hope he films
For
it
the
and
love
takes
of
it
God,
off.
for everybody that's in the gym that shares that gym with him, I hope he doesn't wear the mask the entire time.
I'll say this. I never say this. You can bully this guy.
Big bully.
Just be like, hey, man, that's fucking corny.
You're
You're wearing a mask for a fucking NFT you own that's worth nothing now. I mean, it's worth something. There's still worth
obviously you
something.
haven't been doing the pump and dumps with me.
I haven't been. I've been pumping, but no dump. I wanted to find.
I'm just
this
I'm just hodling.
I don't know if this is the mask he has now, but at some point he had a mask made, and when it shipped, it was broken,
Oh, he was pissed, I bet.
and he was pissed. But Gavin, it doesn't end there because he's a crafty little fella, and he decided to put it back together.
Oh, fuck, dude.
And then it just needs some paint. So let's paint it up. Not too bad. So I don't know if that's the one he's wearing, but also if he paint, the paint's got a smell, and it's just ugh,
The sweat.
it's just weird, dude. And if I was the owner of this gym and I saw this guy, I'd be like, dude, you got to take that off, man.
Well,
He has to be doing it during off hours because there's no way
Yeah, I was
during
going to
business
say,
hours that would be okay.
yeah, because imagine someone walking in with a mask on to do workouts
Right. Well, that's what I'm saying.
and then film themselves doing it.
Right.
Like, that's too big. Like, what the hell?
Yeah. And I guess it
Public
just
gym
depends
stuff.
on where you are. Because I've been in a gym where my apartment gym, which didn't have anybody working there, it was just a smaller gym. There was someone who came in there to film themselves with a mask on. No, with a mask on. They just came in there to film themselves, and I was like, oh, all right, that's interesting. That's the first time I've seen that. And depending on where this guy lives, it's probably could be pretty normal. Maybe, depending on where he lives. I don't know. It looks like a cold place. So I'm surprised you haven't seen this though.
No, I have never seen this.
I've been nonstop getting recommended it now.
I'm
I
getting.
don't follow him or anything.
Can you approve him as
Oh,
your
this
follower?
one was crazy. Need some new shoes. He's in like a DSW store,
So many to choose.
which is like a place you shouldn't buy shoes from. And then there's Skechers with Doc.
Perfect.
And then he's wearing the mask in the fucking shoe store.
Secured the bag.
And look at these. Ugh. What the fuck? Ugh. It's just gross, dude. I mean, Bored Ape anything is gross, and Bitcoin and ugh, it's all blah. Disgusting.
Well, I posted some NFTs on OpenSea. for
Oh
you
yeah,
guys
how'd
to-
they go?
They're going.
You checking?
Yeah, they're going pretty good. I'm watching the ticker go up.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I'm watching that very closely.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I don't know if we have time for a Nextdoor drama. Maybe we'll save that another week.
We got
I mean,
a
we could
marathon
do
coming
it,
up
but,
here.
like-
A whole bunch more.
Yeah, we could, but I don't know. What do you think? Should we do it?
Yeah, we could do it.
Let's do
Yeah,
it.
Let's
Fuck
just do
it.
it
Why
real
not?
quick.
Let's
Yeah,
do it.
Just do it real quick.
It's not that we don't want to do it. We're just trying to be more time sensitive. But let's do it. Nextdoor Drama, a segment we do every once in a while where we go to the infamous Nextdoor blog posting website, which is a blog posting website for your neighborhood, and we pull out an article. We script out the article entry in the comments, and we do a dramatic reenactment of it as if it was happening IRL. So, without saying much else, this Nextdoor Drama is titled, Next Time You Feel the Urge to Steal, Don't. I will be playing John. Gavin will be playing Rick, and we both do not like teenagers or people stealing. So we're not like Drake. Or we don't like Drake. I guess would be the joke. Here it is, Nextdoor Drama intro song. Hello? This week on Nextdoor Drama.
To the little jerk who took my package off my front porch while my front door was wide open. You didn't get much, just a cleaner for airbrush. But it takes guts to come up on someone's porch with the door open and them sitting right there. Next time you feel the urge to steal, don't.
Did you get a good look? I'll keep my eyes out.
No, I didn't.
Do any neighbors happen to have cams? You can have checked? It is sad how porch pirates and car thieves have picked up. I hate that word.
These comments almost sound like these young thieves are trying to see what they can get away with kind of like to practicing. I see that because of the items that have been taken airbrush cleaner and a phone holder. They're just working their way up to bigger and better. Watch your neighborhood, folks.
Who knows what their thinking is? They need to be scared of being caught red-handed. But I guess they aren't afraid. And they need to be. They just might steal the boxes from the wrong porch someday.
Probably a new TikTok challenge.
Have to, big dogs. Good luck. Sometimes you have to, big dogs. Have to, big dogs. Good luck.
That actually got a like too.
Of course. You gotta have two big dogs.
That's all it takes sometimes to get those porch pirates away from you. He also did not spell pirates right. That was the.
Did he really?
He
Oh,
spelled.
shit. I
He
missed
spelled
it.
it pyrotes. Like
Damn it.
like yeah, pyrots.
Pyrots. Damn it, I should have noticed that. How porch pyrots. Dang it, I missed that. I think I was just so dreadful of saying that word. I don't like that term, man. It doesn't sound good.
Yeah, he spelled it's pirates.
Porch pyrots.
Yeah, porch pyrots.
Porch pyrots.
Which I mean, like, like phonetically,
It works.
It works.
That's probably why I read it, because I don't know how to spell. I also like TikTok, TICTOK.
He's close.
Have two big dogs. Good luck.
Yeah, this is. I mean, I feel like it's interesting because were people before Ring cameras? Were people just not stealing packages off doors, off like porches or anything like that? Was that
Yeah.
like a thing ever?
I think so. I remember hearing about it,
But now it's like with the Ring cameras, people are way more paranoid about it.
or just talking about it.
Yeah.
More paranoid because they'll see a Ring camera footage and be like, "Oh, we need to get a Ring camera too."
Yeah.
And it's like, well, doesn't mean you need to.
Yeah.
But I also wonder if it was just like a thing where before Ring cams, like they would just get stolen and then they would come home and be like, "Listen, the package isn't here." They would tell the Amazon, or they would tell whoever they didn't get their package. They're like, "Oh well, we'll just send you a new one then."
Yeah, that's
And just
definitely
never
yeah.
knowing it was stolen. They would just be like, "Well, it didn't get delivered, so what's happening here?" It's like, well, it might have gotten stolen. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I doubt it's gone up more. If anything, you
It's
would.
probably exactly the same.
Yeah, the same or maybe gone down. I would hope it would gone down because it's more likely you'll get caught.
Yeah, and I've seen videos on
know, though.
TikTok of people trying to steal huge packages off porches.
Oh,
and, like,
really?
they're struggling.
Well, there was some of the comments on here were like, "Well, Google Mark Rober and watch his videos of the glitter bombs."
Mark Rober is pretty cool, but the like
Yeah, it's just
like that.
Yeah.
Like, all right. Yeah. No, you're right. I'm an engineer. I can make that thing too.
yeah, and it's just fun. Yeah, it's exactly. It's like, what are you recommending here?
I'll
They're just
make a
recommending you to go
glitter
watch
bomb.
it.
Yeah.
It's also funny to find out what old people are somehow stumbling across.
Yeah.
It's like we know who Mark Rober is, but I
Yeah.
would have never expected a 60-plus-year-old to know who that is
No.
at all.
Let alone even my parents didn't even know like Mark Rober by name.
It's
I
for
could be
sure
like, oh,
a
it was
Facebook
a guy.
thing.
Yeah, like I know it's a guy that
Mhm.
like makes that thing, but
Yeah,
it
but to
would-
know the name, it's like,
yeah.
yeah. That Mark Rober's. I bet Mark Rober's videos kill on Facebook.
Oh my God, yeah.
That seems like a slam dunk for Facebook.
Yeah, absolutely.
Bet it is.
And all he has to do is just post cleaning videos now. I get a whole bunch of cleaning videos.
Oh,
where
yeah?
People are like cleaning.
I
Or like cleaning objects where they're like, clean this old book with me.
yeah, I've seen some of those. I'll see like, yeah, I'm
I've also
still,
getting AI videos too. A lot of AI videos.
like what?
Like it's just like random videos of like someone baking a cake
And it's AI.
and it's AI.
Oh, I want
or-
to see that.
Or people posting AI screenshots.
Okay.
And then like one of my coworkers fell for AI where there was these Cabbage Patch Kids, but it was like actual kids in cabbages, right?
Okay.
Standing in a line, and she was like, "It's amazing that they got them all to smile at the same time." I'm like, well,
God damn it.
yeah, well,
Well, that's because I saw an AI yearbook photo. And it was like a yearbook page with AI created faces and AI created names. And it was like Mort and Dort and it'd be like Mick Dort and then Dort. Wasn't even like no real names. It was just like,
have you ever heard of Lugansk Dort, who plays for the Oklahoma City Thunder?
well, this is their first
Oh,
name.
Dort.
I think it was only no, maybe it was first and last. I'd have to
Dort
find it
Dort,
again.
Mort Dort.
Yeah, it was just like nonsense, and then the faces were just crazy looking. Yeah, man, AI's on our home front now.
Yep.
Be careful out there, folks.
Oh yeah. Whoops. What you listening to?
Yeah, what you listening to? A weekly segment we do where we recommend something we've been listening to over the past week. And Gavin, you prepped yours right before the show. So what do you got, buddy?
Well, I got Stadium Anthems by Creed.
Oh,
No, I have
top 10 stadium.
yeah, I
anthems.
have Interstate Love Song by Stone Temple Pilots.
Every time you say that, I just think of like, wait, so the Highway song, that's Led Zeppelin, right? Uh-oh.
Highway
Greta
song
Van
is
Fleet?
Greta Van Fleet.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
Highway
what's,
Tune.
what's the Led Zeppelin? Isn't there a Led Zeppelin song about a highway? Fuck. I don't
Highway
know.
to Hell by AC/DC.
I think I'm just thinking of the
A to C, D to C.
Somehow the Immigrant Song is
Yeah.
making me think of that.
But
That's not the first time I've done that before. too,
Yeah,
I
well,
think.
it's just because they're alphabetically very similar, right?
Yeah, and then Greta Van Fleet sounds like them too.
Yeah.
So it's just a god.
They were here recently.
mess.
I didn't
Yeah.
think about going at all because I was like,
I wouldn't have gone. My brother went.
Yeah.
She had it.
She had it.
I don't mind.
But yeah, I really like Stone Temple Pilots. We used to get their songs on
Napster.
Rock Band. Rock
Yeah.
Band, you could play them on Rock Band. I think it was 3. Rock Band 3.
I don't know. I didn't get that far.
Well, anyway,
I think I had the original one, and then I never got any further than that.
we played the shit out of the Stone Temple Pilots on Rock Band 3 or 4, whatever
Okay.
it was. We played so much Stone Temple Pilots, and it's like and I know that I said this right before, but it's like a better Creed to me. But it's insulting to it's insulting to Interstate Love
To
Song.
Creed.
No,
it's
to
good.
Stone Temple Pilots
Yeah.
as a whole, because I feel like they're much more talented
Yeah, I mean,
individuals.
people have been coming around on Creed recently. I think it was started out as a meme, and then now I think people might actually be.
Yeah, same thing
they're
with Nickelback
fine.
to me.
Ugh,
I will never be able to
No.
ever concede that Nickelback is good ever.
No, and I don't talk about it because it's like even kind of a cringy hack thing to talk about Nickelback being bad. But they're not good. I know people who are trying to do that too, and
Yeah.
I'm like, no, stop.
Yeah,
They're not.
I'll
We're
tell
not
you-
gonna
I'll tell you
be
a story
cute
about-
about this.
tell a story after the show about that.
Okay. Just
Yeah,
like,
no, it's
you're
not. It's not cute, and it's not good. Like, it's just not good music to listen
No.
to, and
Not at all.
like there's better jams out there. Like there's
Yeah.
Interstate Love Song, for example,
Exactly, and the Highway song.
and the Highway
Tune
Tune or whatever it is by Greta Van Fleet.
by Led Grand Fleet.
Yeah, honestly, I'm serious. Like the Greta
Yeah,
Van Fleet
yeah,
is
yeah.
actually a good song.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember. I love that. I used to love that song.
It's on Fortnite.
Is it really?
That's how I
on the Rock
yeah,
Band?
Yeah,
This is the first time you ever listened to it on there?
yeah. I think it was like one of the
Ah,
first
man,
times. Yeah,
I was in that shit early.
but it
Kinda.
wasn't that early again.
I was only listening to that song though, and I was like,
You were
"Whoa." I was like-
grooming. You were grooming Interstate Love Song.
I was grooming those boys
Uh-huh.
who were older than I was when I was in high school. I remember hearing that song and I was like, whoa, this is crazy. And then it was like, Led Zeppelin's just the same thing. And I was like, I don't like Led Zeppelin. But I was like, whoa, Greta Van Fleet, this is so cool. And then I'm like, wait, it's the same thing.
I was born and raised on Keishi, so I liked Led Zeppelin.
I was too, but that's what made me hate it.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
No,
I didn't like any of that.
I fucking love
old stuff.
Like
I do
fucking,
now. I do
yeah,
now.
even then I was like obsessed. I bought the entire Mothership album on iTunes.
Damn. It pissed your dad off.
No, that would
You
piss
told
him
me a
off.
story
with,
about that
Yeah,
with
we pissed him
something.
off with or without
Beatles.
you.
With or without you? What's that?
The U2 song. With
Oh.
or without
You just bought this song?
Yeah, we pretended to buy it on
Oh,
iTunes,
oh,
and then
that's
Sean
right.
filmed me.
I thought
pranking
you
my dad.
actually.
No,
did you, it was just a joke.
Yeah,
you
it was
didn't
just a
actually
joke.
piss
no,
him off. Okay.
No,
okay.
yeah. Well, he was like, "Are you serious?"
Yeah. Because he hated the song. Yeah.
Yeah, that was. But we did buy a lot of music on iTunes.
Yeah,
so it's,
of course.
naturally.
I did too, man.
I bought.
I got iTunes gift cards every Christmas.
Oh, dude, and I would run through those.
Oh yeah, first day.
Like it's so crazy to think about it. Like
Yeah.
how much money I spent on iTunes
Yeah.
alone.
Yeah. Now that's
Now it's
not
gone
a thing at
basically.
all. Yeah, man, I bought some crazy shit. No,
I bought.
I think the last
I bought
album,
some really embarrassing shit on there. I bought like Moving to the Nether,
I don't know what that is.
the Move Like Jagger Minecraft parody
Oh.
song.
Sick. I probably have a parody song.
I have bad lip reading songs I bought on iTunes.
Yeah, I don't know if I ever bought any of those because I knew they were on YouTube. I was smarter than that. Every song was on YouTube though, so I know I bought the song "Let It Rock" by Kevin Rudolph
Yeah, me
and
too.
Lil Wayne. I
Uh-huh.
bought the music video though. I didn't buy the song. I bought the music video.
Let it rock, let it rock.
And I would watch it all the time on my iPod Nano because you could watch music videos on it. So I did that. The last thing I ever bought was a Neck Deep album. Funny enough, the last thing I ever bought on iTunes. It was
First
the
thing I remember.
last iTunes gift card I ever got.
First thing I remember buying was Brothers by the Black Keys. I was straight up the first thing I
Damn.
bought on my iPad as a kid, as like a 11-year-old or 12. Yeah, so like 12 years ago, with the like third gen iPad.
Damn,
Yeah,
crazy.
I was an iPad kid.
Well, this album could have been bought on iTunes because it's old enough to have been on there. This
It
week,
still exists though. That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's
well,
crazy.
yeah, because Ben Shapiro had the #1 song on
Fuck yeah, it
iTunes.
is. Yeah, fuck yeah, he does.
He still does. Still Tart Chopper. This week I'm recommending the song by this band Volumes. I've never really listened to them. gotten recommended to me a few times through YouTube Music, and I've kind of just ignored it for whatever reason. And then this one time, a song off this album came up, and I was like, this is actually pretty good. And then I kind of dipped into their music to see if their newer stuff was better than their older stuff. Their newer stuff is good, but something just attracted me to this album. And it's actually their first album did I say it was from 2011? It's from 2011.
No, you said it was old enough to be on iTunes.
And it's called Via. And they're a metalcore band. They say progressive metalcore band, which makes sense because it's like it's definitely different. It's very interesting.
Does it sound like prog though? Like with synthesizers and like.
It's kinda.
Really?
There's some
Okay.
synth stuff. There's some like drum machine stuff in one of the songs. But yeah, it's just very interesting metalcore. It's not like super dark or like super heavy. It's a little bit more melodic, but the weird thing about a lot of their songs is they have really long like drum breakdowns where like there's like big spaces of time in like the drum breakdown. It's I don't know how to explain it. It's just different. It's just different. But this album's great. The first song I heard off of it was Edge of the Earth, which is still one of their most popular songs. That's the song that starts out with like this kind of like drum machine sound that's really cool. Wormholes is great. Intake is great. It's just a really cool album, and like it makes sense I was recommended it because it's like pretty similar to that old Architect stuff I've been listening to. So I can't progress forward. I'm only regressing at this point, but that's okay because I didn't get.
Maybe
to
one day
listen
you'll get back to
this.
Creed.
Maybe one day they'll reach to me with arms wide open.
Well,
Opan.
Opan.
Well, let's get out of here.
Well, everybody, thanks for listening to Takes All Kinds podcast, episode 166.
Yeah.
I still can't believe that.
Apologies if there's absence. Speaking of absences of time with the camera, because the battery might have died at some point. So apologies on that, and apologies you're probably not even seeing us right now because I think the camera stopped. So we're gonna get out of here.
I just finished making pasta. We had a beautiful dinner.